In the dry, rolling lands of E.L.E village in Samburu, lived a respected elder named Lamayan. He was once a herdsman whose sharp eyes could spot a wandering goat from miles away. In his youth, people said, Lamayan sees further than the eagle. But time had turned on him. First the blur crept into his right eye. He ignored it, thinking it was dust from the dry season winds. But months turned into years, and the blur deepened. Then the left eye followed. Slowly, his world darkened. At first he could still walk to the grazing fields. Then, he needed his grandson to lead him by the hand. Eventually he stopped leaving the compound. The proud man of E.L.E was now bound by shadows. He began to recognize voices more than faces. The sight of his grandchildren's laughter was now only an image in memory. Inside, Lamayan felt a silent sorrow. He often asked himself, is this how my journey ends, watching life only through darkness? One evening, as villagers sat around the fire under the Samburu stars, a visitor brought news. There will be doctors coming from the city. They will be at the health center nearby. They say they help people who cannot see because of a white disease in the eye. The villagers leaned closer, listening. Some were doubtful, others hopeful. Lamayan's daughter, E.L.E, held her father's hand and whispered, Papa, they are talking about you. But Lamayan hesitated. Doctors from the city? In E.L.E? Can they really return sight? Or is it another story to make us hope in vain? Yet deep inside, a small flame flickered. On the day of the outreach, E.L.E was alive with movement. Families came from far and wide, guiding the blind, carrying the elderly on donkeys, or leading them with walking sticks. The small health center had never seen so many people. The air was filled with whispers, prayers, and the nervous coughs of those waiting. Lamayan sat quietly, holding his wooden walking stick, listening to footsteps and voices around him. His heart pounded. When it was finally his turn, the doctor shone a bright light into his clouded eyes. Papa, the doctor said gently, you have cataracts in both eyes. We can help you. We will start with the right one. Lamayan's fingers tightened on his stick. He felt both fear and a strange, unfamiliar hope. The surgery was short, a few drops of anesthesia, careful hands, and then silence. Before he knew it, it was over. His eye was bandaged, and he was led to a resting place. That night was the longest of his life. He lay awake, hearing the crickets sing, feeling the cool Samburu breeze. What if it doesn't work? What if I remain in darkness forever? He prayed silently, recalling the many seasons of his life. Morning came. The nurse walked towards him. Are you ready, Papa? Hands trembling, Lamayan nodded. The bandage was gently removed. At first it was just light, blinding, overwhelming light. Then shapes, a face, the curve of a smile. It was E.L.E. His daughter's eyes were filled with tears. Lamayan gasped, covering his mouth with his hand. I see you. He looked around. He saw the red earth of E.L.E, the green of the acacia, the bright shuka of his grandson running toward him. For years, he had been trapped in shadows, and now the world burst open in color and light. The crowd around him clapped and cheered. Some wept with him. In that moment, E.L.E village was alive with joy, not just for Lamayan, but for the hope that filled everyone's heart. Though his left eye still waited for surgery, even one eye was enough. Lamayan could now walk on his own, fetch water, and watch the goats graze at sunset. Most importantly, he could look into the faces of his family again. He became a messenger of hope in E.L.E. He told everyone, do not wait in darkness. When the doctors come, go to them. Even one eye can return your life to you. The children of E.L.E often gathered around him, listening to his story. And when he spoke, his voice carried both wisdom and gratitude. Lamayan's journey reminds us that sight is not just about vision. It is about dignity, independence, and belonging. One simple surgery, one act of care can restore more than sight. It restores life itself. And so, in the quiet lands of Samburu, in a small village called E.L.E, a man who once thought his world was gone now walks proudly again under the bright African sun.